wanted to put some yoga together to help people slow down, relax, relieve some tension. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling just a little bit of extra anxiety and stress lately. And so a nice, soft and slow session is just what I need. So let's get started. Go ahead and begin in child's pose. You're welcome to use a bolster underneath your seat. If you don't have a bolster at home, you can use a pillow, or maybe a stack of beach towels is nice and firm. So slide it underneath you if you like to sit on it, and come all the way down. Nice wide knees, the arms extend, let your palms connect to the earth. Every point of your body that has contact with the ground, allow it to be heavy. Take the breath in through the nose, nice and deep. Sigh it out. Settling into the earth, just feeling heavier and heavier. You can pour your troubles into the ground. Stay here for another 5 breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. You allow yourself to take that breath into the body and then release it into the ground. Present in your practice, in each breath. Walk your hands over to the right enough that your right hand is off of the mat, but your hands are still about shoulder width apart, and settled back down into the earth. You're feeling that extra stretch through the left side body, all the way from your tail out through the extended arm, through that pinky finger on the left hand. And then changing sides, walking the hands over to the left. Now your left hand is off of the mat and your right arm is reaching, getting that line of energy open from your sit bone on the right side all the way out through the arm and out through that pinky finger in the right. Walking yourself to the center. This time go ahead and bring your hands to the mat and slide on up to tabletop. Your knees are hip distance or a little bit wider. Your palms are shoulder width or a little bit wider. And as you breathe in, you scoop through the spine, pulling the heart forward as you reach the tail back. And as you exhale, tucking the tail, rounding. And so you move, and dancing with the breath. Maybe the breath comes in through the nose with a soft sigh through the mouth. Continue moving in that way. Inhale and exhale as your spine moves. Please stop swinging. You're going to slide now from all fours onto a supported side plank. So turning onto your left knee, using your left hand for support, like a big yawn. That right arm reaches up to the sky, maybe your heart, maybe your face. Closing to the center, exchanging sides. So your right palm will ground down, your right knee, and you'll open up the shape, breathing in, opening up, stretching. Maybe you even do yawn. Bringing it to the center. Your toes tuck under, your palms go palms length forward, and your tail reaches to the sky for your first down dog. You wiggle the knees by bending one and then the other, letting your hips slide from side to side. And then finding center, you find stillness as well. Getting long through the spine, lifting your tail up to the sky, lengthening as much as you can through the legs. Your heels reach to the earth. Tippy toe your toes forward, tippy toe your hands backwards, finding yourself in the center of the mat with a giant bend in your knees. Your head is hanging, your arms are hanging like wet noodles. And with a big bend remaining in your knees, you'll roll all the way up to standing. Your shoulders and your head being the last thing to lift. Standing with your feet hip distance apart. You'll inhale, take your arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Let go, please. Bend your knees, rolling all the way up to standing. Inhale, gather the breath. Exhale, diving down. Bend your knees, fold forward. Rounding all the way up. And so you continue with this half salutation, taking in from above, and then diving down, releasing, gathering from below, rolling back to standing. Last time. This time as you roll up to standing, gathering the breath, reaching with your wings open wide. Go ahead and let those hands connect and draw down like a magnet to your heart, as if they belong there. Your face might bow down. You can feel your heartbeat under your thumbs. You release your hands. Let your palms face the front. For those of us that normally practice in a group setting, I just want you to draw those people that you practice with into your heart, into your space, into this practice. We're not alone. We're all together with our intentions, with our thoughts, with our love. So bring those people into your practice. Inhale, open your arms wide. Yeah, palms facing the front. Puff your chest like a proud bird. And then exhale, hands come out. Left arm on top of right, big hug. Round down. Inhale, open up. Puff the chest. And this time exchanging the cross of the arms. So right arm on top of left. You hold onto yourself, hugging and rounding. Inhale, open up. Exhale, one more time each side. Left on top of right, hugging yourself, rounding in and down. Opening up. Big breath in, you might even look upward. And then the right arm goes on top of the left as you cross over and hug again, folding. Opening here, make sure your legs are nice and wide, definitely wider than hip distance. I'd say probably about the width of your mat. And then interlace your hands behind you, bend your knees deeply, and we're gonna fold forward. If your hands do not clasp easily, don't drive yourself crazy. Grab a t-shirt, grab a hand towel, grab a strap, and hold it between the hands as you lift them up to the sky. Keep the knees bent, allow the head to hang. Maybe a gentle shaking of the head, no, yes. We straighten through the legs as much as is comfortable. Hands reaching to the sky. Using the breath to soften the body, to create space. The arms release first. Your arms are hanging. And you roll up with that generous bend in the knees, all the way up to standing. We're gonna step forward into our warrior-like stance. So we're gonna step with the left leg first. So if you wanna walk a little bit towards the back of your mat, that might be helpful. And then your left foot, if you look down, your feet are hip distance. They're gonna remain hip distance. Step the left foot forward. You did not end up on a tightrope. Back foot turns, warrior style, about 45 degrees, and we get a nice big bend in that front knee. Our hips try to point forward. We reach our arms up to the sky, big breath in, there's an arch, but it's long. And then exhale, dive forward. Inhale, up to the sky, press through the back leg to anchor yourself. And exhale, dive down. One more like so. Maybe the arms open like a big V at the top, and then as you exhale, folding forward, we're gonna get as long as we can through that front leg. We're rounded through the spine, a soft pyramid fold, trying to allow that right hip to drop. You feel that left femur pull up into the hip head to help even out through the hips. Big stretch through the back of the left leg. Let's hang here for 3 to 5 more breaths. In through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. We're releasing tension in this practice. Last exhalation, and then bending through the left knee, pressing through the right foot. Reach all the way up back to that warrior. The arms open up, maybe they come to your hips, and we step that right foot to meet the left. Big breath in. And then go ahead and dive down, bending the knees, folding. Roll all the way back up to standing. Shoulders roll back, head stacks. And we'll step back with the left foot. So stepping back with the left foot, that 45-degree angle, right knee is bent, it lands right over the ankle. The hips try to even out and point forward. You know, in perfect land they might get there, but that's not today. They're reaching that way, and our arms reach all the way up, lengthening our spine. Inhale here, exhale, fold forward. It's like we're dipping our fingers in some water on the ground. Inhale all the way up. This is breath driven. Exhale, release. Inhale, we're gathering, filling up. Exhale, releasing. Last one, big breath in. And as you exhale, go ahead this time, get long through the front leg, evening the hips as much as you can. Round and fold down, let your head hang. No tension in the neck. If your hands don't comfortably reach the ground, you could use blocks. You could use a little stool. Just like the first side, remember we're not trying to gather tension, but release it. So as you breathe in through the nose, you fill up, and as you exhale, let it sigh out the mouth. Bending in the front knee, pressure through the back foot as you rise all the way up. And again, stepping forward. Palms come heart center, bow the head. Take the breath in, soft. Exhale, dive down. Bending the knees. Let's walk ourselves back to that down dog position. Long through the spine. And then shifting towards plank. The knees come down. We roll onto the bellies. Pubic bone, belly button, heart, and then your face hovers. Your toes flip so that the tops of the toes are down, pressing into the earth. Your pubic bone presses into the earth. And then let's roll on up into a sphinx. So your elbows go where your palms were. Your forearms connect to the earth. Your face pulls forward. You roll the shoulders back, broad through the collarbones. Heart reaching forward, your spine's getting longer. You breathe. Releasing, rolling back to the earth, palms go where the elbows were. Toes tuck under, and we roll up. From all fours, we're gonna pause here. Let's come into some restorative shapes and really soften into the earth. So we're gonna use our bolster. And we're gonna start with a Janu Sirsasana. So we're going to extend that right leg out and tuck the left leg in. Yeah? So the sole of the left foot comes to the inner thigh of the right leg. We have our bolster because we're gonna get really squishy and comfortable. I like it on top of my right leg, okay? This might be enough. You might want more, you might want less. So you're welcome to add pillows or any sort of props. We're rotating the body, so there's a twist that's happening. We're taking our trunk and we're rotating so that we're looking out over the extended right leg. And then as we drape ourselves out and over, it is not about bringing my nose to my knee, not at all. It would be about one day bringing my belly to my thigh, yeah? So as we extend and drape over the extended right leg, though we are rounding, there's always an element of length. I encourage you to find something to rest your head on. You allow the breath to move freely through the body. And we listen deeply. These sensations that arise in the body, it's a language. It is your language. And I promise you, if you take the time to learn this language, these subtle nuances and sensations that arise, sometimes they come in the form of discomfort. Sometimes it feels really, really good, and everything in between. But this language will teach you so much about yourself from the inside. So we listen. Last big breath or two. And you roll all the way up ready to change sides. Yeah. And so in changing sides, the left leg gets long, the right leg bends in. Any props that you like take their place. And it might be all the same rules. It might be a really similar shape, but that doesn't mean that it has the same story, you know? And so you come into it open, not knowing what's going to be said from inside, but listening, rotating and coming out over that left leg. We're shifting a little at a time into a state of reception. We have less to say and more to hear, more to feel. Breath is still coming all the way into the body and all the way out. And begin to ease yourself back up towards the center. And let's go ahead and take Baddha Konasana into the fold. So before we come back onto our backs for a few more shapes, we'll bring ourselves Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, and we're gonna come out and down. And for me, I really like to have kind of a landing pad. So maybe you bring your arms, and with your elbows kind of locked out, you've created like a little kickstand for yourself. But your back in this one stays fairly straight. So hinging at the hips, folding forward to begin like so. Breathing deeply. As if you're melting, you begin to allow yourself to round and fold forward. Maybe you come onto the elbows. Maybe you take a block under the head. You begin to ease out just like you came in, rising up. And with this bolster, we're gonna come on down, yeah? So we're gonna do a few shapes on our back, and I'll keep talking you through them. So let's start by draping ourselves over the bolster lengthwise. If this is a little intense for you, you can always roll up something and put it right under the top here. So you make it more like a cheese wedge, place something underneath the top and let it rest up on it. So maybe a block, maybe just a rolled up towel, something to give it just a little bit of a lift. Otherwise, coming onto the bolster, it's right at the base of your tail, your knees are bent, and you roll all the way down onto it. If you're long like me, the top of your head comes off of it, otherwise it rests on it. The arms open like wings, the palms are to the sky, soft and receptive, and the legs can remain bent or they can extend long. In this vulnerable, heart-opening shape, can you be soft? Can you truly let go? Five more breaths. I invite you to stay present in your practice in this space. One side or the other, or straight through the center. You're going to remove the bolster so that you can come flat onto the back. We'll do a couple twists on each side before we come to our final relaxation. So rolling back down, your knees are bent and your feet are as wide as the mat. This is really important for the beginning of the twist. So keep them wide, your pinky toes kind of tickling the edge. And with your arms open to the sides, we're going to take the knees from side to side. Like windshield wipers. Starting to feel that stretch through the front of the thigh, the hip flexor. It's a front body twist. And then when you're ready and the knees tip to the left, go ahead and settle here, allowing the weight of the legs to be enough. The front of the right thigh in particular is opening. And you bring the breath into the belly. I like my left hand on my low belly so I can encourage myself to fill up like a balloon. Taking the shape to a slightly deeper place, you're going to take that right leg, drag it on top of the left. Maybe you extend long through the right leg. And now we're anchoring through our right shoulder. It doesn't mean it's on the ground, but it's certainly heavy and settling towards the earth. Keep breathing deeply into the belly. That exhalation is longer than the in-breath. We're pouring our troubles into the ground. Sliding back to the center, remember our feet are as wide as the mat. And we're going to lift our tail once or twice just to find center. And then the knees will roll off to the right, still wide through the feet. Again, that front body twist. So you feel it in the front of the left thigh, the hip flexor, and maybe that right hand comes to the low belly. breathing in and breathing out, nothing more, nothing less. We allow ourselves to become softer and softer. The left knee pulls on top of the right, maybe get long through the left leg. Feeling an anchoring, a weighting through that left shoulder. We're in no hurry. We have nowhere to go, nothing to do, but be here and breathe, connecting to our body, to our breath, to anything and everything all at once. Sliding back to the center as you're ready. Go ahead and draw both knees into the chest, tight like a little ball. Give yourself a hug. And when you're ready to extend long through the limbs, coming into your final resting shape, your Shavasana, it's something that you can be really comfortable in, that you can soften and let go. Settle your body into the ground. You let gravity win. You release. Maybe you take a breath in and let it sigh out. Stay here as long as you need, resting, receiving your practice, connecting with your community, staying dedicated to your practice. Thank you for spending this time with me. Namaste.